Hi, this is Nick Barrow with the Snooker Gym and our client Terry. We're going to be just checking the approach to the shot and the cueing and the follow through here. So here we're just checking that both of us are getting down to the shot in one simple action. And let's just track this out of interest. Let's just track the hand. If I take a pen here, let's slow it down a little bit. Quarter speed. I can bring the pen. So let's start that again. Let's do this in a slightly different way. So normal speed. Okay. So let's plot a series of points here, alright? So we've got hand position here. And then we go to here. And then we go directly here. Just slowing the video down a bit. And then it goes down here. And then finally goes in here. Now, we did mention this on a previous video, but look at the wrist there. This is a different video, so let's look at the wrist here. I'm just stepping back with the frame. Now here, you can see, I'm sure you'll agree, that the forearm there looks completely relaxed. The forearm and the hand looks completely relaxed. They're in the same line. Now if we frame advance here, there's just, you can actually see in the hand muscles and the fingers and the skin on the wrist there, tension. There's now more tension. Let's just go back. Well, that's a little bit blurred, but to me that looks relaxed now, and as we go forward, it's tightening up already, you see? That whole hand seems to be tightening up, and there's something's going on there. Don't know what that is. Oh, and it's twisting again. So I don't really want to labour on this, but just to highlight, a small thing like this can make a big difference in a player's game. And then it goes back into play. So again, now it's gone into the relaxed position, as if you're standing up with your hands relaxed, flopping by your side. That's how your hand would appear. But a little bit of tension there, a little bit of an anomaly going on that I think could be looked at. So what we found was, let's draw a line here. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how we got actually to the final position. All right. Let's play it again. Let's have a look here. I don't know who this is with those horrible trousers, but let's slow that down just to give us a greater chance of tracking. So let's change colours here. Okay. Can't change colours for some reason. Oh, there we are. Okay, fair enough. So if we go forwards very slowly. So that actually just slightly went down here. And now it's gone down here. And now it's gone here. And now it's gone into, that's I think more or less the position we're going to be at on the cue ball. Yeah, so on this occasion we went from 1, 2, 3, 4. So a bit of variation as we get down to the shot, and what we're really looking for is as smooth and as simple an approach to the table as possible. You can see here how the grip hand is nicely closed around the cue, and the fingers there nicely cradling the cue and controlling the cue. So let's carry on. And that's just getting straight down into the shot. In other words, a practice that you can do is get straight down into the shot, no cueing, no testing, no feathering at all. Just bring the cue back and play the shot. That test that you get down to the correct line instantaneously without having to correct and find the line again when you are on the table. Really, when you're stood up, that's when you find the line. When you get down, you should still be on the line. And the cueing is just to check that the cue is moving straight, that you feel relaxed, and that you are gearing yourself up nicely for the correct backswing and delivery. So does Terry have a go now? Let's have a look. I think we're going to go one step more advanced here. So from going down to the shot and stopping still with the cue, now we're going to stop still with the cue here and do our cueings. Again, you can see how the fingers at the back of the hand on the cue actions there are opening out a little bit as the cue comes back. Look at the cue as it comes back, and those back fingers just nicely opening. And having another go. Just lining up the shot nicely. Very good. Stationary, should be on the line already. Now it's just a case of moving the cue backwards and forwards, checking it's moving straight, and coming back and stopping. Now, just have a look at that. Look how open those fingers are. Look. Lovely, that is. Very relaxed here. Very relaxed in the arm. Very nice to see that. And the whole shoulder area looks relaxed as well. Very easy to see tension in a player. I suppose the way you see tension is that if you don't see relaxation, and if we go back in the frame slightly to the beginning of the backswing, see those hands just closing. This is the backswing in reverse, so that's really what should be happening on the delivery. The hands, the fingers very gently closing around the cue now. Now look, if we bring this back, let's say quarter speed, just look how those fingers nicely, naturally, in a relaxed way, are gently pushed out of the way by the cue. They're not opening, they're not fanning out like this, that you see some players do unnecessarily. The cue is just gently pushing the fingers out of the way, and then on the delivery, actually now I don't think we have a delivery, we're just focusing on the backswing. And very important exercise, this separating, getting down to the shot, that was the first phase. Here doing the cue actions and backswing, that was the second phase. And the third phase will be striking the ball. Very important to work on each of those three areas separately and master each one and get comfortable on each one. Then you can put the three together like a chain, like a solid chain. But try and do all of them all at the same time, and they can get a bit confusing, especially if you're doing this new or if you're beginning the game. On the line nicely there, happy with that, and then just coming back. I've come back a little bit further than Terry, and also my hand is a little bit more twisted outward than Terry's on the grip hand position. In other words, can we bring that back a bit? Yeah, you can see that here there's a bit of a gap between the back of my hand and the cue. Some players have that gap. Ken Doherty is quite noticeable on that. Steve Davis used to have a bit of a gap there, and he's experimented with various things. Stephen Hendry is very closed here on the back on the cue. Alan McManus, if I can say his name properly, is very closed on the cue there. Different players, their anatomy is different. The shape, length, size of the hand, arm, etc. is slightly different. So it's generally a personal preference. But the important thing is that this forearm and the grip is relaxed and controlled and is able to move the cue as you want it to be moved. So let's continue without too much talking. So we start there, and there we go. See how those fingers open up. And then just stopping there, not delivering the cue, just testing that the backswing is operating efficiently. And then the delivery, it's totally separate. We can do that later on. The separation of skills is important in snooker. Well, that was a bit quick. It's like learning salsa dancing. I did try it once. Don't really want to do it again, but the teacher was great. She taught us there were whatever 4 or 5 steps, and okay, do the first one until it's automatic, then build the second one onto it, then build the third one, and about 45 minutes later Nick was still working on the 4th one, but I didn't get overwhelmed. You see, step by step things gradually happen. So although I won't be Salsa World Champion, I did have a sense of accomplishment and control in what I was doing because things were step by step. Now, I think we're going to see a delivery here. Still a little bit quick on the backswing and delivery. I would have liked to have seen more time spent changing gear. That was very, very quick, and you can see actually that the arm. See, here's the thing: when hitting the ball is quick, let's slow this down to quarter speed. Now, quarter speed, playing the film forward, is more or less the speed of the backswing that some of the pros are showing us on TV. Look, some of the pros pull the cue back like this in normal life, but that's 4 times slower than normal on that shot for Terry. So a bit of room for improvement in smoothness and deliberation there, I would say. And of course, let's go back to the right now. We're just coming to the end of the backswing here now. Have a look at. Okay, have a look at. Let's draw a line here. That might make it easier. Straight one might be better. Okay, frame by frame advance. Because things are happening so quickly here, first of all, you can't feel what's happening in your body. So that's the first disadvantage. You can't actually feel what is happening. Secondly, you move things more quickly, they're going to come awry. They're going to move from side to side. You know, drive a car quickly, you've got more chance of hitting the curb or crashing, right? See, even there on the backswing, the cue is slightly coming off the line there. Can you see that? Cue coming back. Oh, look at that. Look how far that cue has gone offline there. See that? Huge difference. Partly because things were just too quick, and when things are quick, tension happens in the arm and the grip and the shoulders, and with more tension, there's just less control. Oh, and then there's another little flourish at the end. So we've got 3 positions there. Take your pick. There's Nick coming to attack the situation. So bear in mind we're playing the same shot here. There were those 3 cueing positions. So the cue might be slightly different length, but there we've got quite a nice demonstration there of a smooth backswing. Deliberate pause at the end for half a second or so, whatever, and we'll just go frame advance on the delivery. Because the delivery starts very slowly. See, because the backswing was slow and relaxed and deliberate, there's no tension in the arm, so the delivery is able to start in a very relaxed fashion as well, you see. So let's go frame advance. There we go, very slowly beginning its movement. Almost like it's asleep, and as the cue goes through, speed building up there, and it's through the cue ball, and because it's happening more slowly and deliberately, the cue is staying on a single plane more reliably. So let's remove these, and let's put a line in here. And again, frame advance. Okay, I've dropped it a little bit there. This isn't totally reliable because, of course, we're a side on to the cue, so There we are. So this angle here is slightly exaggerated, but I suppose I'm dropping the butt, what there, 2 inches or so? And the important thing here that we're really keen on is to follow through nicely into the chest. You can see that here, that's almost glued into the chest there, almost like a nail has been driven into the chest. And it's almost like fused into one unit, the grip and the chest hand. A lot of players are scared of following through into the chest. They feel it's not natural or not normal, but on the contrary, it's not normal for a professional not to follow through into the chest, because that's the natural stopper. You know, a train going into the station and stopping on the buffers, that's the role the chest has on the cue. Unlike a train, you don't need to put the brakes on the cue before it gets into the station, because the cue ain't dangerous. So allow the cue to go through. Don't put any brakes on. Just let the softness of the chest stop the cue naturally. And let's carry on playing. Don't know if I'm going to have a go, or is it Terry again? Let's see if this one is a bit more relaxed on the backswing. That's what we're looking for. Perhaps we were on slightly different chalk marks by a centimetre or so. That's why our cue positions appeared so much different. Nicely getting on the line, checking the line there. Cue actions up to the red a couple of times. Nice sweeping cue actions. Coming back slowly. Oh, now you saw there, that was a little bit quick. Nice on the backswing. Let's give that another go. Nice on the backswing, but oof. That was very nice until we reached here. At which point, tension coming into the shoulder area there. Can almost sense that. And frame advance again. Actually, it went. Did it start moving to the side before it hit the cue ball? Debatable, but that's the beauty of following through straight. That you know, if it followed through straight, it had to have gone into the cue ball straight. So yeah, there we see the arm. Don't know what it's doing there, but that's probably a good 3 inches or so that's gone to the side. Something to be aware of. Now, a lot of players do this sort of thing. They have no idea they're doing it, which is the beauty of staying down on the shot. Now, let's have a look what happens here. How long does Terry stay down? How long does Terry stay down? Not very long, I'm afraid to say. See if more time. See, let's have a look at that. Red goes down, and this is frames. Okay, there's 25 frames a second on this video. All right, red goes down, hits the cushion, hits the other cushion. There we go. Look, have a look at that. See, your eyes should know how the red is behaving in the pocket every time. Your eyes should be able to recall what happened on the red. That's how intently your focus needs to be on the red until it hits the pocket. So, hits the right cushion, so it's not in the center of the pocket. Goes over to the left side cushion and then hits the left-hand cushion and goes in. 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, 5 frames, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 12 or about half a second. 12 or 13 frames, that equals half a second. That's not long enough to know and feel and remember exactly what happened on the shot. And double that to a second, or maybe 2 seconds even. You know, give yourself a count of 1, 2, 3. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, a friend of mine Had coaching off a very good coach from Scotland called Eddie Gill, sadly passed away now. And Eddie said, after every shot you play, just count 1, 2, 3. He did that. Concentration was so intense, he reached 113 on for a maximum, didn't even realise it. This was in Glasgow one year, and did not even realise he was on for a max. Played for the brown off the last red, and as soon as he knew he was on for a maximum and he'd played for the brown, he just missed the next ball. But so deep was his concentration and just paying attention to exactly what was happening that it's like a feedback loop, a positive feedback loop where you stay down, you feel what's happening. By feeling what's happening, you can improve what's happening. What you're aware of, you can improve. What you measure, you improve. What you're not aware of, you can't improve because you're not even aware of it. So that is a good discipline to get into, and you don't have to do it all the time, staying down for what seems like minutes, but do it for 5 minutes a day and groove that habit of just staying down until you watch the balls and feel exactly how the cue has been delivered according to your specifications or otherwise. Coming to the end here, a couple of minutes remaining. Let's see what happens this time. Nicely lining up. Hand looks relaxed. Nice cue actions, getting the cue ready. Nice and slow. Yeah, that's it. That's great. Yeah. Would have liked to have seen even a bit more deliberation on the backswing. On the gear change at the end of the backswing and before the start of the delivery. But you see there, see how long Terry stayed down on that shot. Now, here's the irony, all right? When a player commits to staying down on the shot for a count of 3, which is what Terry did there, invariably, because we know that we're going to be painfully aware of everything that happens on the shot, we generally behave ourselves. Our body behaves itself. Our arm and our hand and our cue behaves themselves, and because we know we're going to get very clear feedback on what's going to happen. But if part of us says, "Oh, I don't need to stay down this time," the body has a way of escaping with naughty behaviour, and like a small kid. If you don't keep your eyes on it, he'll misbehave. But if you keep your eyes on it, he will keep still in the corner and be a good boy. So let's very nice follow through. I'd like to see a little bit more time on the gear change between the backswing and the start of the delivery, but look at that, staying down 2-3 seconds, beautiful. Full awareness of what happened on the shot there, taking a mental snapshot. Pause. And staying down just to feel exactly what's happened with the cue. Are we going to have one more shot each here, or is that it? I think Terry might finish off here. He's the star of the show. Cueing nicely, checking it's going to move straight. Nice backswing, nice stop. Look at that! What a player. The final piece of the jigsaw, and there's just one thing here to add. Don't breathe on the shot. When you're down on the shot, no breathing allowed. So what most players do when they get down to the shot, they breathe out and hold the breath out while they're doing their cueing and backswing and delivery. If you breathe, you will move your chest, your body, and your cue. So don't do it. That was the other thing that we learnt from our sessions together. So let's have a look at this again in quarter speed, slowing it down. Let's even do a little line here to measure what the cue is doing. Now look at that, very nice cueing. Backwards and forwards along the correct plane of the cue. This is quarter speed, remember, just so we can see and feel. And by the way, I've paused it there, by the way, quarter speed on the video allows us to see and, well, we can't hear and feel, but we can see and imagine how it feels more easily, more clearly. Do you think that if you're struggling with something in your game, if you did it more slowly in practice at quarter speed, that you would see and hear and feel more of what's going on and therefore be more in a position to control it and improve it and therefore control it? So, yes, I think is the answer to that. A useful tip for the future when you're struggling with anything in the game, just slow it down to quarter speed. You'll get to the solution much, much quicker. So go slower to go quicker. That's the lesson for today. Now look at this lovely backswing coming up. Look how smooth and controlled that is. Fingers opening nicely, and I'm just going frame advance here because I want to savour this beautiful follow through. Just look at that. Look how accurately that goes through onto the line. Alright, there's a drop of an inch or two, but you know, gravity takes the cue down, and also the cue gets fatter as it goes through anyway, so even if the cue remains touching on the chin at all times, it will naturally drop half an inch or so anyway. But that's just such a solid delivery. Beautiful to watch. Fantastic job, Terry. Well done.